Hi stepmom, welcome to my first Q&A. I put a few questions together which I received or even which I've been asked many times during my stepmom's journey. So here is the question number one. It is related to Father's Day. Because a few days ago I posted who's buying or who's responsible for getting presents or buying presents for the dads if you are in a blended family. So obviously if their kids are too small, usually there's someone who needs to be sort of in charge or make sure the kids are getting something for the father. And I shared with that in that post that actually I after so many years of being stepmom, I contact my stepdaughter's mother and ask her like, okay, how are we gonna do this? Because it's all every time before birthday, Christmas, Father's Day, it gets a little bit awkward, and I don't know who if if I'm the one who's buying the presents or if she's okay with that or what's going on. And we actually agreed that for the future, I'm the one who is responsible to make sure my stepdaughter is getting something for her father. And as an exchange, obviously, my husband is responsible for my presents. So his ex-wife doesn't need to make sure that, my stepdaughter is getting something for me, because that's not fair, right? But what came out after this topic and post and conversations, there was one question one stepmom asked me was, what about her presents? What about buying presents for his ex-wife or the mother of his kids? Because there was the story, she had a story that like she always buys the presents for, or they always buy presents for her, but she never get presents for them. And let me talk about that for a little bit, because I think in our family or in our blended family, actually I was always asking my stepdaughter if she has present for her mom. If she is, if someone is helping with her, someone is helping her with that. And she said, yeah, don't worry, my grandma is helping me, and she's gonna turn 9 this year. So since I don't know, age of 5, she was like, no, my granny is helping me out. I was like, okay, perfect. So we knew we don't need to get anything for her mother because she has that sorted with someone else. But if she was a single mom and didn't have anyone to help her daughter with the present, I would definitely step in and get a card and some small cheap present, or my kids, my stepdaughter, okay, get your money and I will help you with the present to buy and to choose whatever we need to do to get the present, because it's not fair for the mom to not getting any presents. Can you imagine if you're a single mom and you don't have anyone in your family to help out, your kids with the present, and then it comes your birthday, your Christmas, your Mother's Day, and you don't get anything? It would be really sad, and you would be probably annoyed because your ex-husband was the one who would be in charge in that. So, stepmom, if the mom is single and she doesn't have anyone to help her, help the kids with the present, get the present. Go to Poundland, go to some cheap store and get one present, just something small, a few quid. Just make the effort, because look at her as a woman who's single, who's who doesn't have anyone around, and get that present. Or make sure someone in her family will help out the kids to get the present. Now, it's not about being this bigger person. It's actually putting yourself in her shoes and understanding how things can be really difficult for her. And I know that's not always the thing we want to do, putting ourselves in the ex shoes and be understandable. But I'm telling you, is one of the things when I start doing it, when I start putting myself into my husband's ex-wife shoes, I really, the whole thing, all our relationships changed it. Like from one day, it just completely transformed and made a difference, not only in our relationship with my husband, but with the relationship with his ex-wife, with the stepdaughter, with everyone. It's really helpful. So do it and get the present if it's needed. Don't look at it like, oh, she's not getting anything for him, so why he should get anything for her. see her situation how it is. Maybe maybe that will break the ice, and maybe that she will look at you differently, or will be actually appreciative for that. So a second question is, and a lot of people are asking me that, what is my relationship with my stepdaughter's mother like? And well, don't expect any juicy stories. Our relationship is good. It's now become really quite friendly. And I tell you one thing: the only reason the relationship is the way it is, because I work on myself, and I push my partner, or my husband actually, um, do the same. I know I'm life coach and relationship coach, and at the beginning I found it really difficult to be the second wife and the stepmom, because I was single, living in London, having fun. Then I met this guy on Tinder. He was great, and I knew he has a child. But it's I think, and I was like, oh, I can do that. But actually, it wasn't so easy for me. And moving to Kent, and starting the whole new life of living somewhere else, and being the second wife was absolutely just something what I just couldn't I just couldn't get over it. But as soon I start dealing with it, and I went to coaching, and I hired a life coach obviously, and get this thing sorted, it really changed for me, because there was a time when I was hiding from her. At the drop-offs, I didn't want to see her. She didn't do anything wrong to me. She never was rude to me. She was never, nasty to me. And in a way, now maybe some of you can think, well, you're lucky, I'm in a completely different situation. But maybe think about it, I was hiding and I was doing certain thing, and we basically didn't have any chance to create any drama or anything, anything weird between us. But there came a time when I understand, like, well, this is not normal. This is not okay for me to be hiding and not being in a communication with her, just because I can't stand to be second wife. So what I did is really, as coaching, changing my approach, putting myself into her shoes, and we never really went to any a massive drama or any situations like that with her, or even my husband with her, just because we work on ourselves, and this is a more important thing you can do to make your life as a stepmom easier, and it will just completely open your eyes and make your life easier. Because what I learned, and you can read it in my blogs, I learned a lot within, I think, first 2 years, and now we carry on creating good relationships. I'm not saying we are best friends, but we are able now to talk, to see each other, and just without any me being weird. Because to be honest, I was the weirdo, the one who doesn't want to see her, or was just scared because the second wife thing was just keeping nagging in my head, and I couldn't stand it. Now I'm over it, and I'm really good. So what I had to do, as well, a part of coaching, I have to choose my battles. So what does it mean is just you choose things that some things don't worth, they're not worth you're fighting for. There are really some things which is like you shouldn't even bother about, because it's not your business. And that's a hard thing for women to understand, that it's not we don't need to sort out everything. It's his, they are his kids, it's his ex-wife. He needs to be the one who's sorting it out. I am a big believer of 80-20 rule. And if you follow me on Instagram, you see my post. I believe it's 80% on your husband or partner to sort out the things, and 20% is you. And vice versa, it's 80% of you letting him be, understand, backing off, take a day off, whatever you need to pick your battle, to choose what you want to do. And 20% is really being involved, because not everything worth to fight for. Absolutely not. And I learned hard way, and I always thought it's my responsibility to Google things, doing a chart, parent his daughter, coming up with solutions and all the crap. Seriously, I cut it by 80%. And doesn't mean I don't care or I'm not involved in their lives. It's just I'm letting my husband to be the father, and that's it. Seriously, that's what we've been doing, and it works for us. And as well, I just forgot what I want to say. It's another thing, a part of life coach, stepping back, it was stop making her wrong. I know. And actually, what I couldn't even, I at the beginning, I couldn't even say her name because it was something where just like, oh, you know. And again, she never done anything to me. I just couldn't bear it because for my issues, for my envy, or for my own problems, I couldn't say her name. And is I couldn't say she was the first wife, you know, or it's you know, I just couldn't bear that. But with coaching and with learning how to work on myself, I actually learned, you know, stop making her wrong because she does something different, or she does, you know, she has a different parenting style. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just something you don't agree with, and that's fine because most likely, you know, your partner's ex-wife, it's different person or completely different person to you. She probably have to have, you know, she has a different belief system, or she came up from a different family or different backgrounds. You don't know. Probably, you know, they broke up for a reason, they didn't work out, and now he found someone else, and you can be a completely different person. So obviously you will not agree with everything she does, and you will not always understand why she is doing it. But it's not always the problem. You know, just because she has different beliefs or different parenting skills, it doesn't mean it's wrong. It's something what she believes. There's something for what is important to her. You know, so just make your own rules, and I will make future videos about this. It's a long, you know, it's it's not a story, not a video for, and just really stop making her wrong, and stop calling her names, stop calling her crazy, toxic, narcissistic, crazy. I don't know how you call her if you still struggle with that. Just stop calling her names or calling her crazy and I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, right? So stop calling her and just use her name. You will see how that will change your perspective. Because even if she does some crazy stuff, you still don't know what is behind it, and that I will talk about that in the future videos. You still don't know, you know, why she's doing what she's doing. So just because she's, you know, you think that she's acting crazy, it doesn't mean that you have to call her crazy or narcissistic. You don't know. Like, do you really have some sort of like proof that, you know, from the doctor that she's narcissistic or she's crazy? No, you probably don't. And even if she has mental, you know, mental health issues, it doesn't give you the permission to call her that way because she has a mental health issues. That's not funny, you know. That's nothing to call, you know. There's no reason to call her or picking up on that. So use her name, and you will see how that transformed that, you know. And another thing is stop saying hate, because if you think about it, when you know we're raising children, you know, I don't have a kid myself, but we always, you know, say that, oh, hate is such a strong word, we shouldn't be using it. And we say, we teach this to kids. But when it comes to us, oh, we hate everything. We hate the weather, we hate Donald Trump, we hated this, we hate that, we hate that, we hate that. We hate everything, and we hate her, and we hate what she's doing, and we hate that she was the first one, and we hate that he has a kiss with her. And, you know, it's so much hate. Stop saying hate. And actually, you know, that will be another thing which will help you out to be, you know, to calm down, and not in a way that, you know, like, oh, calm down, girl, but it just makes you feel calmer, you know, using her name, and stop saying I hate. Instead of hate, so like, well, I don't really understand why she's doing it, but I'm sure there is a reason for it, you know, or I don't agree with her. Use these sort of words, these sentences. Don't use the hate, because the the word hate will trigger your brain and actually brings up this, you know, this hate, you know, the feeling of hate. So, okay, I just said hate so many times. Stop using it. Use her name, and that's it should be your first step towards, you know, calming down and you know, slowly being a better stepmom. Because one of the most important thing is, and you need to remember that no matter what you're going through, no matter how difficult his ex-wife or ex-partner is, you are the role model for his kids now. Not as a mother, but as a couple. Because, you know, the kids coming from the broken home or broken family, how they call it, and they needed someone to look at, someone like some example of a healthy and loving relationship. And that's you now. So it's your responsibility to be calm, to just, take what it is and just deal with it calmly, effectively, without hate, without calling anyone names, without getting upset, in front of the children. I know you still can get upset, obviously, but not in front of the children. But it's your responsibility now to be the role model for your stepchildren as a couple, and showing them that there is, chance to fall in love, be in a great relationship, and even if it's not working, you can still find someone new, someone different, and be who you are. So be careful about that, and just be yourself in front of kids, and be the great example for them. So once they grow up, they can say, hey, my parents break up, they divorced when I was I don't know what, but my dad found someone, they are happy, and just showed me what the healthy relationship is about, and how it looks, and how it should be. Because you are the one, you're responsible for that now, and you're responsible for backing off and taking a step back, and start calling her by her name, no names, and just be the best possible stepmom they can have. But you will be happy inside as well. So please, if you do have any more questions, or just leave me in the comments, or contact me on the email. Obviously, if you don't want to be named, I will change the names, I will change the age, or whatever you want. Let me know. You can change it yourself, and yeah, so it will be anonymous. And let me know what you think. Any questions, please leave in a comment, and I will looking forward to see you again. Bye bye.